Hello, hi, my name is Heaven George, and just wanted to tell you um, I'm from Redlands, California. I've lived in California pretty much most of my life. Um, Basically, right now, I am a victim of a slander campaign. I would have had videos out earlier. I have health disabilities, and as a result, I basically it's a bit difficult for me. Right now, I'm using the bathroom because I feel like this has better lighting than other areas. Anyways, currently, the reason I haven't been able to give you a video or anything like that, if you're liking or anything like that, or more earlier, for fear of repercussion, if I put my story out, that my enemies are basically going to, further harass me and things of that nature. I had this fear like, oh, the people that were slandering me, they could just type my name and then they look at my video and then they'll be like, oh, okay. That's the reason why I haven't really done, any online article. At first, I'm a bad writer. That's a big reason why I haven't done writing. I don't really have an education or anything like that. I didn't even finish high school. I did, like a GED. GED is not really, high school is more harder than a freaking GED. Like a GED is like one effing test you have to just study for, and they give you like 3 or 4 times if you mess up, if you failed or you did bad, you can do it again, kind of thing. And then high school, to actually like finish it, is it's more brain work, than a freaking GED or an adult school or something like that. That's why a lot of people, you end up doing like remedial courses when you go to like a community college or whatever, and stuff like that. So I didn't really, we could just say that I had no high school education. You could pretty much say that, because the highest level that I actually finished 9th grade. Anyways, I don't want to get into my schooling. I didn't even finish 9th grade. So yeah, that's how bad it was. We're not going to get into that story. That's backs to the reason of my why my credibility is affected. You can kind of see I had made a previous video on my cell phone. Boy, I think you have to pay money. I don't know, like it's not expensive. It's just like I already have a camera on the cell phone, so it's like not cell phone. Oh, sorry, camera, video. No, not camera. What is this called? A laptop, and So anyways, yeah, so I'm a victim to this crime. My life's basically destroyed, and, people don't really care. And, yeah, like I said, reasons why I didn't do videos. This is supposed to be about gangstalking, and now I'm talking about, because I'm doing a free thought. Like, I journal a lot, so it's not like I don't plan. It's not like I don't plan, what I'm saying or what I'm doing or whatever. It's more along the line of, I don't know. I just get kind of lazy sometimes. So like now I just got left with free thought. Like I was gonna plan everything I was gonna say and all that stuff like that. Like I am planning to make more videos, and when I make more videos, I'm hoping that I actually plan out what I say rather than a free thought option. Now, I very much studied this, and I've done, a ton of journaling. So, pretty much whatever I free thought will be whatever was written in my journal, but whatever's, written in my journal is not, it's not like, correct speech. Like if you were to go to like speech class or something like that, like it's not in the correct order, like chronological order or specific way to speak, or, kind of like writing. But here's the thing about speaking versus writing is that, if I were to like write an internet article for Google or whatever, coming on the internet or website, whatever, you have to have good writing skills to do so. Not really, basic, but I don't even have that, so I don't want to take the I don't like writing. Writing's not my thing. I like, it's not, in terms of like educational output, no. It's just easier to talk, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no grammar, really that you need to worry about when it comes to talking. So I just felt that was easier, for me. Which is how I even landed on YouTube. Reading is so difficult for me that I prefer like videos and pictures, because I have a very short attention span. So like, like the news is easier for me to comprehend mentally than reading a book, I guess you could say. Is that like I don't know, I'm not saying I'm an auditory person. I'm more of a picture. I'm more of like a visual. You gotta show me like pictures and stuff in order to help me understand things, because I'm really slow, and a lot of dumb people, that's how they are. So generally, if you're smart, you're supposed to like, I don't know, you're just supposed to, you don't need the picture. You don't need the picture book, but I need the picture book if I want to understand something. So, that's where I would put my level of brain right now. I don't even go overboard my, like, you know, educational aspect. I ain't doing too well, and so that's not something I really want to talk about. But, my life is just, you know, I really don't hope anyone has, you know, my life or situation or whatever. Anyways, I'm under a lot of stress. I'm a victim to organized, I believe, possibly gang stalking. I don't know if gang stalking is really the word. It could be something else. What other words or situation could be? Slander is probably what's happening to me. That's 100%. I very much believe this. What happened to me. Slander is a crime. You know what I'm saying? It's not legal, but you know, I mean, everybody breaks rules. You know, like jaywalking or speeding and blah blah blah. It's not like you're gonna go to jail for every rule you break. I'm not even saying that. Slander, yes, it is. Libel, yes, libel is a felony, and depending on the state you live in, so it depends on the extent of how you did it. You know, impersonating police officers, pretending, so that basically means pretending to be a cop when you're not, getting fake badges, intimidating people, playing like, oh, there's an investigation when there's not, you know, gaining cooperations like that. That is a crime. That's a crime. Now, of course, the community members that are harassing me probably don't, like, care, but, like, what am I supposed to do about that? It's a very stressful situation, and I don't know anybody. That's why I said Redlands, California. Like within like the first minute of when I was speaking, I put Redlands, California. And the reason I said my city, and I'm probably gonna do this for each video that I do from now. I'm gonna put the city that I'm from, is just so that if anybody, like if I could meet up with someone or talk over the phone or something, like that's the reason why, and you know, things of that nature. So my name's already there. My name's Heaven George. So again, that's the reason why I put my name, just for memory, even though my name is what the title of my YouTube page is. You know, just I don't know. I just feel like reminding people might help. You know, just in case. So I need like, if anybody knows anything, anybody heard. I highly doubt the people that are like harassing me, I doubt they're gonna look up my videos. Like, unless I become famous on YouTube, which I highly doubt is gonna happen. Yeah, I highly doubt. These are like gang stalking slander, so it's kind of boring. Only people that would, the only reason I ever looked at any of these YouTube or read any of these articles, because I'm going through it. You know, it's not stuff that's all like YouTube popular, like for music, entertainment, hangout, fun, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. You know, that's what sells. You know, this is not really entertaining. All this stuff about like gang stalking is just really like, you know, depressing and sad and all this. Like, why, you know, it's not even solvable. It's something you could fix, you know, and that's like, there's no profit, you know, really to getting into. Legally speaking, it's difficult to prove, even though it's technically a crime and stuff that they do to us. It is technically a crime. It's just one of those crimes that people don't really care about, because the mentality of this community, they put it on the level of like speeding ticket, like speeding. They like getting a car and going a little up. That is about as breaking they know there's laws being broken and, you know, the types of people involved and stuff like that. So anyways, it's a very hard situation, you know, like I'm really like stressed out with this whole situation. You know, I'm probably gonna make more videos. I don't know how successful those are gonna be. I mean, I didn't really have, today's just, you know, I didn't really have a follow method of, you know, what kind of topics I was going to get into, not going to get into, blah, 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 stuff like that. I'm under a lot of stress, you know, and stuff like that, and I don't really have responsibilities, but the people, you know, that are supposed to be helping me pretty much trust me, and so I don't really have a good support system. And, you know, that's why I'm, like, doing this video, see if anybody else is going through this, if, you know, anybody, blah, blah, blah. Just wanted to see if I could, you know, meet up with people, stuff like that. You know, it's it's a difficult situation, you know, and very painful. Pretty much till you're dead. They're gonna be harassing us till we dead. I don't know, you know, this video is not just for people that are going through this situation. It can be for anybody that knows people, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, again, you know, like, I'm sure, like, the people that are into this stuff, unless you're going through it, you're not really gonna, like, pay attention to this stuff. So, yeah, anyways, I just, you know, if you're going through this, you know, it's really sorry, you know, very sorry, you know, we're all going through this struggle together. They basically treat us like a freaking criminal, so it's really hard to gain support. That's what they tell people. They tell people, oh, you're a criminal, or you did this. I don't know, like, how they did the rumor with you. Like, with my rumor, yeah, that's how they did me and stuff like that. You know, the information is not validated. Of course, creating false evidence is really easy and anyone could do it. I'm not anyone saying, like, oh, okay, like, you create false, you know, if you can go to a court. But I have no criminal records, never been to prison, never been to jail, never been interrogated, anything like that. No juvenile records, no sealed records, no expunged records, so there's no hidden need. Of course, they could create these things anytime in the future. Who knows what could happen to me, but currently that's not what's happened. Like I said, I have had, you know, health experiences, you know, things of that nature, like, you know, stuff like that. I don't know, my health issues, I may go into it another video one day. I'm not really sure, things of that nature. I have no friends. You know, the people I'm with currently are, yeah, they don't really want me living here, apparently, but they're tolerating me. So, it's a difficult situation. So, the point, you know, I'm an adult. I'm 22 years old. You know, I'm too old to be jobless or not going to school or anything like that. So, you know, you know, I'm not at my level of where I should be in life. I'm, like, really behind and all that. So, for anyone going through this, you know, I'm so sorry it's happening to you. I don't know, it's just really painful. I would love for this all to end, but, you know, the situation's so bad. If you move states, pretty much it's going to follow you. Meaning, I mean, I already know it could happen anywhere in any country. I'm not anyway specifying that, but, I don't know, it's just, if you move, hypothetically, okay, once you're targeted, like, I'm a target right now. I'm not talking about, like, oh, it could happen to anyone. Yeah, technically it could happen to anyone, anywhere in the world. I'm not denying that, regardless of the poorest parts of the world, or the richest, it doesn't, is literally anywhere. They don't care about your situation and what you know, your life and your pain and they don't care about if you had a hard life, easy life. To these people, their only definition of a hard life is extreme poverty, apparently, like the dirt poor, like, you know, some third world you'll find they're very hardcore. Like, they don't, if you, like, oh, you know, you had a painful, it's just, unless it's criminally affiliated type of situation, they have a harsh definition of what their determined feelings of what a hard life would be. Like, my opinion of hard life, I mean, you know, I compare to the culture. You know, I understand, you know, like, there are differences in life. I understand, you know, there's richer and poorer, and pretty much most people in America have more money than predominant majority of the world. Like, I understand that, so I'm not that dumb. I mean, everybody knows that, but these people, they, like, have a very hard, they don't care about your life, what an easy life is, what a hard life is, if it's your fault, if your life's not your fault. They don't really care until the end, because they're harassing you and it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to deserve the harassment, so they don't care about, like, what your past was, or, you know, if you're a normal person, or if you even deserve what's even happened to you. They don't even check. They're not witnesses to a crime. They're the criminals. They're the ones committing the crime, you know. I think the hard part with gangstalking is you can't really say, or you can't really prove that anyone's a criminal. It's your word against the rest of the community, and so nobody can, you know, I don't know, I guess for different people it might be a different situation. I know for me, a lot of people in this community are gossiping about me, from my opinion. Not that I can prove it. Nobody really gossips in front of me, but they treat me badly through falsification of records, or body language, sound language, gesture, and harassment, which is actually the number one part, is the odd body movements that they make. That's mainly how I come to the conclusion that they've talked about me and my life, and that I don't even know this. I didn't have friends and things of that nature, so that definitely is not, that put me at a disadvantage to the situation. Not that it matters, because once you do have friends and they find out what's happening to you, they may not stick with you. They may leave you. And I understand, with the situation, anyone that associates with you, basically, in any way, anyone that you are on a regular basis with, possibly even someone you're sharing an apartment with. I don't know if you've ever done that, but I know in America there's dorm room for university, blah blah blah. A lot of people share, because they can't afford it without, it's just expensive lifestyle. So that type of situation, anyone you're living with, anyone you're with, they're gonna be harassed too. And I know with my situation, I'm the reason why I'm being harassed, and other people are being slightly affected with the situation, because they're doing me some mild favors. But the point is that anyone you associate with, hypothetically, let's pretend here you're married. Let's say it was you say you're the wife, and you're married. You've been married for, whatever, how many years, 10, 20, 30, doesn't matter, 50 years, doesn't matter how long you're married. If they tag one of you as the gang stalking victim or the slander victim, then the spouse is going to be harassed with you for living with you. So then you're both going to get the harassment. Now, of course, you might figure out which one it is, and that you'd probably be honest to each other, and you'd be like, oh, this person at work didn't like me, blah, 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 that's why I'm being harassed, So, I'm sure you'll figure out which one it was. But the point is that, if you have kids, sometimes they might be affected with the situation too. That's not my situation. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. There's really no obligation. Nobody really has an obligation to take care of me or anything like that. From this point, it's a favor on. But the government, the people doing this to me most likely are government employees, and the specific of who they are and all that stuff, I haven't really gotten into those details. I haven't gone into those details because I don't know, just for fear of retaliation or whatever. It's what they're gonna do to me, stuff like that. I don't know, maybe in another video I might get into why they're harassing me or what purpose they're, part of the reason is they're trying to make you an example for the community, also mainly for isolation. Actually, probably the number one reason they do this is for isolation. They just want to avoid you. It's like social murder. They're basically killing you slowly. They're basically making the whole purpose of life no purpose, no meaning to life if everyone's gonna harass you the rest of your life. And of course, for people that are not married, people that do not have kids, for people that do not have any friends to begin with, your life's already, you don't really, especially if you have a difficult relationship with your family or not, or whatever, it's, your life is already the meaning's already being affected. But of course, okay, most people that are being gang stalked, they generally, I'm sure, most of the problem are older than me. I was pretty young when they tagged me with this. Then again, the criminal justice system is made up of a bunch of not a lot of young people. Generally, that's when they get into, but that's another topic. But okay, anyways, obviously I'm not criminally affiliated, I'm not gang member, terrorist, or anything like that. I haven't associated with myself with them. So this is an issue of me having been a criminal but never been caught, because there's some people that used to do it and walk free or something. You knew somebody or something. Yeah, so that's not the situation. Anyways, getting help for this situation is difficult because people call you crazy wherever you go. Basically, if you complain about what's going on, legally speaking, you probably do have a right to report this to the police, in the sense that there is some very disgusting criminal things that I believe has been done to me. To why government employee, healthcare, social services, educational facility, job, it doesn't really matter, church, it don't matter where you go. People basically will harass you in a lot of different locations. The reasoning for it is bad. They almost never have a good reason, and the reason is mainly they just don't like you for whatever. They don't like you because everybody else has bad things to say about you, so they don't even really know you. But even if they didn't, okay, hypothetical, even if you are not the nicest person, they still don't have a right to do this. And You know, they stress people out to provoke you, blah, 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 stuff like that. Here's the thing. If they do bad stuff to you and you do it back to them, they'll get you in trouble because a lot of times it's the government employees that participate in this. Government employee just basically, I'm not talking about like FBI, CIA, government. When I'm saying government employee, I'm just saying anyone that's paid by taxpayer dollar. So that's basically a teacher, a police, fire station, social services, just any post office. Anybody gets paid by the government is a government employee. And I guess when you think government, you know, you think of like White House, president, blah, blah, blah. You think of like international or governor, mayor, you know, stuff about political. But no, well, at least my definition, maybe that is the technical or general or common definition. But my definition just means anyone paid by the government. Obviously, if you own a business, like with the store, you're getting paid by the people. You're getting paid by what people give you. So, that's the difference between business and like government. But it doesn't matter. The point is that like, the people it's just people that work, you know, in jobs that most likely, with my situation, that's what happened. I don't know about other people. Like sometimes I have on job. Sometimes it could just be like gossip, friendship network gone bad or something like that. With my situation, you know, the reason why I'm being, you know, harassed, it's a little bit, I'm not even getting into that topic, but the point is that, you know, shouldn't be happening to me. I don't deserve this, and, I'm under a lot of stress, and, getting help is very hard with this situation. Like I said, if you go to the help, right? Who's the help? Be social services. Okay, they legally do have a right to say that you're lying. They have a right to say it because you know what you're saying is just so crazy. But here's the problem: they participate in the harassment. That's the thing. You'd be like, oh, okay, go to the help. The help doesn't believe you because you don't have any proof. Okay, they technically have a right, but they have to take the complaint, right? Or with whoever the situation you have a complaint, be it a store, be it school, be it healthcare, job, whatever these locations, you're supposed to complain directly to whoever the manager, the boss, whatever it is. That's where you're supposed to complain, right? You have a right to complain. All right. Problem is that they create like problems as well. Basically, they you know, participate in the bullying and harassment, and then you know that these people are actually involved and that they want to hurt you. But the reason they hurt you is because you've been gossiped so badly everywhere you go. Plus, they're telling people you're being investigated. I'm not sure if they're doing it too. They can use different methods in different locations or different countries. I only know America how they do it up in here, or at least in California or the area, the city specifically I'm in, or what they did to me. I don't know what they did to you. I'm sure your experience is it's rather similar. Most people that talk about this stuff is pretty similar. But, I mean, the reason why they're harassing you might be slightly different. Usually, it's a result of a complaint that you made, meaning a complaint against the government or a complaint about another person. It's like some sort of complaint you made or disagreement you had with a particular person, and therefore they slander you in order to, like, penalize you for whatever you said that they disagreed with. That's pretty much how they slander. In my opinion, that's how they do it. And that's not a good reason. You could just say there's no reason. Like, it's kind of like racism, you know, they don't like to, this is kind of bordering on that, but it's more along the line of stereotypes. So many people are involved. You know, they're not picking on you for particular color or, is it racist? The definition of like racism or discrimination in this country is supposed to be like if they harass you for your health disability or your religion or your gender, or your color of your skin, so racial or ethnic background. Because sometimes, you know, there's some people that are obviously just your ethnic background. Because if you're like tan and then you're African American tan person, you'd be like, well, I'm not black. They didn't, you know, they might be nice to Mexicans, but then they'll be mean to black people. So sometimes it's not the color of your skin. It can be also your particular specific ethnic identity, like who you, African, you know, your actual, you know, with Chinese people, you know, they're white, but you know, their physical features are different. So you can't be like, you know, obviously they might discriminate towards, you know, people based on phenotypes of physical appearance purposes, or most likely your racial identity, you know, your true, yeah. So it's not necessarily skin color in and of itself. It can be just your particular lineage, your genealogical heritage, you know, the people in which you were created from, you know. And even sometimes if you're like half, so if you were like half white, half black, they might still consider you black and not white, and they'll still harass you for being black, because it's not just the skin color, it's just the fact that you have that blood in you. You're like halfway, so yeah, it's not just it's not just your actual physical appearance, it's about your genealogical background of who you're associated with and the people that you're with, things of that nature. So anyways, with the racism stuff, yeah, this obviously, it's not technically racism because they're not picking on any of this particular topic, right? It's some sort of disagreement that they had with you for whatever reason. You know, they don't do it just to black people. They don't do it just to particular races. They do it to many different types of races and things of that nature. So it's not they don't do these harassment purposes for racist, you know, reasons. They do it as a way to control power, things like that. Just to make themselves feel. It's just like bullying. It's actually more closer to bullying, in that racism probably would fall under criminal. Now, you have a right to be racist, right? With the KKK, they have a legal right to organize. You can do a website, a racist website. There's certain things you can't do, like you can't threaten to kill people, you can't send hate messages, or you can't call people and leave voicemail of "I hate you," and just really bad things like that and things of that nature. So there's limits, but you have a legal right to like there's certain legal boundaries you have to follow and all that. You can't break the law in the process of it, but you have a right to be a racist. Even with a business, if you have a small business, now not public, I'm not talking about Walmart. Walmart, those are like, they're not governed. Okay, Walmart's not a government job or anything like that. It's a bit, someone created it. But there are I can't explain. When you become big and famous, you can't discriminate no more. I don't know what the rule for that is. But when you become like a big business, you can't discriminate and be like, oh, you're black, you're not allowed here, or oh, you're ugly, you're not allowed here. But like when you have your own small business, it's your own little thing or whatever, you have a right to refuse service to anyone. Actually, I think you have to actually do something bad. I think you have to be disruption or harassing people. That's forever. I don't know. Okay, so I'm kind of confused on that. I need to double check before I write that one or tell you that. Anyways, it depends. I don't know. There's factors on that. Actually, I don't have really good information on that. The point is, basically, like, I'm really stressed out, and my life is so hard, and I just, if anybody knows anybody, that would be really nice, just stuff. And I just, I'm feeling alone. I don't know if there's anyone else out there who's going through the same things. So, basically, this is, a lifelong issue. I'm gonna have to deal with this till I'm dead, type thing. They will follow you if you move states. They will. If you move countries, they will follow you. And I'm not, 100%. If they were going, no, sorry, not 100%. I can't say 100%. I can never promise you anything because anything is possible. Just like this, I never thought this was gonna happen to me in my life. I thought other horrible things in my life may have happened. There's just all these other. I never thought a hurricane or an earthquake would just, I never really thought something. This is like on that level. This is on that level of like a hurricane or earthquake fucking like destroying your life. It's not a physical, maybe it's a totally different type of situation, but it's one of those things you never thought would happen. There are normal bad things in life, like being fat or doing bad in school. I never even saw that coming. I always had well, when I was in teen, I knew I was doing bad in school, so I kind of already knew. But when you're a little kid, you're dreaming in your head, you don't see yourself being dumb. But, eventually you figure it out later. I don't know. There's bad things in life that you kind of, but this is another level. This is like another level where I never thought this could happen to me. I knew it was possible. I knew anything's possible, right? People could this is all it is bullying, really. It's nothing else. Bullying's not really a crime, to be honest. It depends on how it's done. It's not necessarily always a crime. It depends on the extent and severity of the situation. But, and so that's definitely what this kind of almost falls under, but at the same time, no, it doesn't fall under bullying, and that it has to be repetitive, and that a lot of people harassing me are doing it on extremely rare occasions, meaning I don't see these people every day, and so it's only the time in which I encounter them on, very few situations, things of that nature. But there are some people, there's a few where if you see them on a regular basis, they will harass you on a regular basis, and, still, it's not, the things they do is not really that bad either. And it's, obviously if somebody's treating you bad, you're going to leave them. And in that case, that's what I end up doing in a lot of cases. I end up switching the people that I have problems with. And there might be improvements made when you do the switching situation. If, for example, you had a bad experience at a particular area, whatever the location or situation may be, you switch if you have that ability for whatever places. It's kind of like switching jobs. Now, obviously, I've never had a job. Well, I have, not really in the sense I don't have an education, so you know what I'm talking about when I say job. Not really. I've never really had any kind of. No, I'll just stick with no. So, anyways, I'm not in any, you can switch as many times as you want, but the situation is a situation. People are going to harass you no matter where you go. You can find different degrees of harassment, like the harassment may slightly decrease if you switch your situation, but I mean, with these type of gang stalking things, it pretty much is for life, and it don't matter where you go, you're going to be like harassed wherever you go. All I have to say, if you're going through this, I can't really give you good advice on how to deal with stress or anything like that. So I've already collapsed. I have not handled the stress well. I pretty much, right now and stuff like. I don't really, you'd be like, well, there's the government. That's pretty much you're left with. If you don't have a good family support system, if you don't have no friends, then you get left with pretty much the government or yourself. You have to have yourself together, because that's number one. You have to have yourself really together. And if you're not able to deal with the situation, then you have to end up using other resources. And like I said, government. The problem with the government, like I said, a lot of these employees are participating in harassment. Therefore, you don't really have any options. So I'm very sorry if this is happening to you. There's really not much you can do about the situation. You can complain. You can do YouTube. You can do online. You can do all this type of stuff that you see. Try help, whatever, you can try whatever you want stuff. Obviously, if your life is not cured, if you're still having these problems, then that means your life's not fixed. That means you don't really have a solution, in my opinion. So, anyone who's going through this, I don't really have good advice to give you in that, like, pretty much, I feel kind of hopeless and, like, there's really nothing to do about the situation, so, exposure, like exposing my life to the whole world, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how effective that will be. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if knowing people was going to help me with the situation or not. And like I said, it's hard to go, it's hard to get help for this. If you go to any, the problem too is that they participate in the harassment. The people that are supposed to be helping you, they participate in the harassment. Not in all cases, but I've just, from my experiences, that's how I've seen the situation. And so, anyways, so I don't know. Just, it's good not to participate in these types of situations. The people harassing you, they don't really have any, in my opinion, I do not believe they're being forced into it and that they have no other option. Also, they will tell people you're being investigated. They will tell people that is a possible method that they're using. I don't know if that's true or not. That's a guess. I'm coming to the conclusion of how they gained so much cooperation is that they're telling people you're being investigated and that certain people working in the criminal justice system, stuff like that, or just popular people in the community, etc., are basically claiming this and creating fake, passes or equipment and stuff to make themselves appear costume-wise, things of that nature, as if they're legitimate or whatever. So it's a possible scenario of how they're doing and gaining cooperation, or these people just don't care about evidence and they're okay with lying about everything. Anyways, after having my life, all I can say is, if you know anyone going through this, just don't don't harass. I'm not telling you to associate with yourself with problem people or people going through this a very difficult situation, etc. There's really not much you can do, or you can do a lot. I guess it depends on what you want to do ultimately. But if someone is going through something like this, the best way to help cure this problem is for everybody to stop gossiping and stop, that's number one, because if everybody stops gossiping, then the slander won't happen, and that's the reason why the people are participating in the harassment. But, obviously they don't want to stop gossiping, and information can travel fast. Now, with this situation, I believe it's more than gossip in that I believe they actually have motivation and desire to actually destroy my reputation, and also because of the extent and places that I've gone to, the severity, and I haven't specified how many locations have harassed me, etc. Again, I don't know if I ever will get to that point to how many places, but literally, I'll just say it's like everyone. Not literally, but almost. Like, it's pretty much anywhere you go, like, literally. Like, I would say, I'm not saying that they're necessarily gossiping about you. They could have just heard the gossip, and most likely they probably are passing it, but let's pretend they don't pass it. They'll still treat you badly, nonetheless. These people harassing me, they don't fear repercussion. They don't fear about, penalty, etc. Because they know that legally speaking, it would be very difficult to penalize them with something like this. Not that it's not possible, but rather that it's very difficult to do so because there are certain laws that are not necessarily regularly enforced. Slander is not a common crime in the criminal justice system. It's not commonly prosecuted. It can be prosecuted, but it's not commonly done. Same thing with libel. There's just certain things. Stalking does not have a high prosecution rate, even though it's technically a crime. Then again, you would assume maybe it's rare or it doesn't happen, and that's not what I believe. It just occurs more often than it actually gets prosecuted for. There might be a lot of complaints. There's less prosecutions than actual complaints. So this is like more people complain than it's actually basically prosecuted is pretty much how these type of particular crimes work out. That, and stuff like that. So there are crimes like that, and not everyone would think, oh, slander is a crime, or gangstalking, bullying, all that stuff is a crime, but it is. It actually is. The things that have been done to me, people can get fired for their job for 100%, for even the one-time error that they made because it was to that degree of severity. But of course, it's, like I said, you will not gain empathy from the community because the people, nobody really cares about these type of issues. People do not care about all types of criminals. People do not care about all types of crime. People are okay with and tolerate certain types of criminals and types of crimes and things of that nature. And they will not use the word criminal to describe people doing this to me, which I think is the perfect description. Plus, that's what they're trying to do to me. They're trying to tell people that I'm a criminal. The thing is, this stuff is actually penalizable. Like, they are hurting other people. They're not hurting themselves. They're doing it with the intent and motive to hurt another human being. They're doing it with the intent to create problems and things, not accidentally, all this other stuff like that. It's not coincidence. It's not random. They have some sort of grudge against you, things of that nature. And gaining empathy from the community is not very common. It's not really possible with this type of situation, at least from my experience. But then again, I don't really know any. So I'm sure there's some people that are victims to this issue who have, support of friends or family or whatever still with them. But then my opinion could be that the rumors are not that severe. It could be very... you just might have, maybe you have a very good personality, maybe your life, you had so many wonderful memories from before, things of that nature, so it made it easier to keep your support system, your support network. Things that people that don't really have a support network to begin with or have a lot of problems and then have the slander campaign happen after all their problems of their life, you're going to have a little bit more difficult finding help as well. So I definitely fit to the category of having a lot of problems before this situation even happened, and so it just made it a lot easier to destroy my option for help. The thing is, if you move states, if you move countries, they will follow you. I believe that very firmly. I'm not promising, and that's something you could try if you really want to, but, it's, again, not to your financial advantage to do so. But, if you have a lot of money or if you really want to take that risk, it's not about money, it's just about your risk. Everybody can afford to move. So, if you want to do, that's up to your objective to do. There are online articles about people moving and having the situation repeat over and over again. They'll move very sometimes even countries, and the situation will repeat itself because the person that hates you basically will follow you, or they will pay people to follow you or something like that. Is there payment involved? Are they paying people to follow you? Maybe not. I mean, I'm not fully convinced. I'm thinking they will use their own time, meaning their weekend hours, to literally follow you. And again, if you think about it, following, they're willing to take a Saturday off, just to follow you. So I believe they will do that. They will take, if they don't take their money, they will use their time. They will use their free time to actually harass you. Now, as to how often, they're not going to do it obsessively. It's not like they're doing it 24 hours, 7 days a week. Like a real stalker would be like literally, stalker, there's the difference with gangstalking. I don't even know if gangstalking is the perfect word to describe what I'm going through. I know it's slander and mobbing, harassment, stuff like that. I don't really know if there's a perfect word. I know that there's a slang term and it's gangstalking, and I use it, so I don't know if that's the best term. I just use it. So, I have my own opinions on life and situations, blah, blah, blah. Small biases. I don't think I really gave you any biases. A lot of what I'm saying technically is opinions, although the fact that I'm being harassed is a fact. This is a harassment at the very least, and like I said, harassment is not always prosecutable. It's not always a crime. It depends on the particularity of the situation. So, this situation is a crime. It's a crime. The things that have been done to me. If not as a whole, then we can prosecute for individual events, particular specific situations, rather than what everyone. You can't obviously penalize everyone. Most of the people harassing me cannot be penalized legally. Hypothetically, have all the evidence in the world. They cannot actually get in trouble with it. And I don't have any evidence. I have no evidence. I'm just saying hypothetically. But there are particular small few individuals who can actually get into certain, the penalty's not even really that harsh, to be honest. If you think about the way the legal system is and the different types of criminals and the different sentencing procedure, the sentencing associated with this is rather light. So it's pretty light. As to whether it is socially taboo or not, I don't know. So anyways, yeah. Gang stalking is a very difficult situation to deal with if you are going through it, like I said, you can try to get help. I'm not telling you not to get help. I'm just telling you what happened to me is that you don't really find much people willing to help with the situation. And so it makes life a lot harder and stuff like that. And, if you report this crime to the government, they'll basically say that you're lying. So, they do participate in the harassment because they will name call you, they will insult you, they will bully you, and they will falsify the documents because they will not write down what you said. They will write down not even necessarily what they think. They will write down what makes you look bad. From my experiences with happen. Now, I know a lot of gang stalkers will be like, if you read a lot of these, not gang stalkers, sorry, if you see a lot of these victims claiming to be gang stalking victim on YouTube, they'll be like, nobody can help it, or they don't understand, or they're confused. I've been reading a lot of articles and stuff like that online. I had read, not anymore. I used to read it a lot, but now I don't anymore. And at the times I was reading, a lot of the articles that you read on Google, if you just Google, .com search engine, or any other, there's other search engine. That's not the only search engine, but I mean, that's a famous one, like Bing.com or whatever. But the point is, if you Google the situation, they will basically, pretty much a lot of the articles pretty much say people don't know what these gang stalking is. I totally disagree with that. I think people know what bullying is, or they know what harassment, maybe not to this degree and extent and severity of how much this person that, doesn't like you is willing to harass you and stuff like that. But, they know what it is to a certain degree. Maybe the criminal aspect of it, I don't know if people fully understand that. But I do understand, they know that it's morally wrong. I mean, they know that's biblically incorrect. They know it's not religiously the correct thing to do. For a lot of different religions, they teach you to be a nice person, blah, 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 stuff like that. It's not just Christianity, it's other religions as well. And even, like you said, with atheists, I don't know, from there, I don't know what religious objectification they would have against other than morals. then you have morals and just, do unto others as you would want them to do to you. Nobody would want this to happen to themselves, though a lot of people would probably participate in something like this. As to the number, how many people do it versus how many do not, I think it's pretty high, to be honest with you. I know if you look online, they'll put like, it's only like 5% or 10% of the population that will participate in these bullying opportunities if they're ever given the opportunity. I totally disagree with that. I think I'm not even going to get into my opinion. This is where my opinions come in. Again, this goes back to life experience. So it's pretty much, gossiping, everybody's done it, so we can't even deny that. That's at least my perspective of the situation. Not that I have any statistical facts proving or disproving this, but it's just common sense, in my opinion, that everyone has gossiped at some point or another. But there's a difference between listening to gossip and passing gossip. Some people pass it, and passing, I feel, is much worse than listening. And especially there's degree and severity of it. Also, there's the person who starts the rumor. These little factors you gotta take into consideration. Starting is much worse than continuing. And continuing can be even worse if, the person who was gossiping was only gonna do it to like their friends in a very small circle, network of people, versus someone who didn't start the rumor, but they're okay with displaying it to like hundreds of people, on Facebook. It just like ruins someone's life like that. So again, degree and severity of how bad the person's willing to do it too. These are just factors. Like I said, everyone has done it, and if this isn't that's not my issue here. It's the body language challenge, extreme harassment, and combination with falsification and documentation. That's the main issue that I've been having, and they exaggerate, and that's another, my health condition, disability, and the stigma associated with that as well. These people are not apologetic, not remorseful, they don't care that they're hurting you, blah, blah, blah. That's my opinion because of the experience that I had, blah, blah. They chose not to be secretive, they chose not to go to therapy. The people harassing me probably could go to therapy and get help for whatever emotional issues they have. Not that it's a solution, it's not a solution. A lot of people that go to therapy, they have a lot of problems, that's why people go. Though it's not a cure, it's medicine and all this stuff like that. I don't know what other stuff people have. Anyways, just, my physical appearance has been insulting, all this stuff like that. People are pretty harsh with me. Yes, lighting kind of really darker, but whatever. It was hard to find good lighting today, so not that it matters, shouldn't care, But anyways, yeah, my situation is just really rough. Gaining empathy. They're hard with this situation. Like, nobody really cares. Like, if I were to die, like, nobody would really care at this point. The people that are doing this, they don't care if you commit suicide. They don't care if you kill yourself. They don't care, basically what happens to you. They really don't. Because if they did, then they wouldn't do something to this extent and this severity. And I have been followed. I know I have been followed. I don't know if it would quantify as stalking, though. I think sometimes I do feel it has. And I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised, it's just there's so much avidity and cruelty into this situation that, if they did things like this, it wouldn't be that shocking or surprising. So it's just a hard situation overall. I don't know. With this situation, pretty much, I don't really think there's a solution. If there is, I think somebody would have mentioned. A lot of times people say, evidence, try to obtain evidence or document situation, blah, blah, blah. Try to, solve the issue. Yeah, do what you can, do your ability, do to the best that you can without breaking yourself, without hurting yourself in the process, stuff like that, But really, relaxing. It's just, I don't really think you never know, anything's possible, blah, 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 and all that stuff like that. There could be aliens on another planet for all we know and stuff like that. But these type of slander, like I said, it's very difficult to figure out. With my situation, I don't even know, I don't have like a pinpoint of a name of the person who did this to me or whatever, it could be anyone, the people harassing me could be anyone. So, I have guesses of specific people, but at the same time, I I don't have hard evidence in that I don't really have any hard quantifying evidence of it. So, and that they were never direct. Like, no one's directly to my face to be like, you're being gossiped about, or people are talking shit about you, or we don't like you, or, well, no, actually, we don't like you. Like, no one is directly coming to my, they're just treating me badly, and then through treating mainly bad words, or if with the documentation issue, putting things I didn't necessarily do. They take things out of order. They don't even necessarily put what other people say. They'll put what, it's not their opinion. They'll claim, obviously they'll claim it's their opinion or that they're telling the truth, but it's not really an opinion, and that they know that they're lying and they're purposely doing it in order to make you look bad. All that, it's just, like I said, I already have stigmatizing situations and things of that nature to begin with. I was an easy target, though. I really was an easy target for these people. I don't know how it is for most gang stalking targets or whatever. Maybe you're, maybe they won't target you, but I know with me, I have a lot of problems to begin with, so it would be very easy for them to hypothetically do something like this. Basically, anyone could do something like this, and that, I was not in a good position to begin with, and, as a result, they can easily destroy your life with something like this. My life was ruined, as a result of these people and stuff like that. And I think it's a hard life. I don't know. You don't have to say your life is ruined. If you want a happy, upbeat person, you should probably listen to a different YouTuber if you want to feel better about your life. I'm not in the solution-oriented mode. If my life gets better, I may send some videos on that. All I have to say is, okay, these situations are very difficult. Not everyone is equipped to handle this type of stress. It's not really normal stress for anyone to even handle, to be honest. It's not what you're prepared to learn or deal with. School's not going to teach you how to deal with something like this. And even the psychiatric system, all they can give you is pretty much medicine. In terms of therapeutically, if you can't prove it, your therapist cannot empathize with you at all. And they have they're not even trained for stuff like this. But okay, hypothetically, let's just pretend. It's not good because even the therapists start getting harassed. And it's a long explanation of that. I'm not here to insult therapists, stuff like that. I think it's a, normal profession. I think their motivation is, to try to create a solution. But obviously with gang stalking victims, there is no solution. So what are you going to be in therapy for all your life? I'm not anyway telling people not to go to therapy. I'm not anyway saying that. I'm just saying that with your particular situation, there is no real healing process, at least from my understanding. There's never going to be a point in your life. You know how, like, with a rape victim or physical abuse victim, when she leaves a situation or when it ends, yeah, it's a painful life, but it's like, okay, if there's no STD and there's no pregnancy, which in my opinion, in most cases, I don't think it does happen. So from there, it's just emotional and psychological issues. There's no actual physical consequences in most cases. This is, and what I mean most, probably 90 percentile, possibly 95%, 99%, I don't know what the percent. It's going to be a very high percentage who do not get any consequences to their action. Due to contraception and all that nowadays, I very much think that they don't really, and that's my opinion. I know that if you read online websites, they'll be like, all women are rape victims, or half of all women have been raped in this country, or if you read rain.org, it's like 1 in 5 women has been raped in this country. Then if you read those website internet articles, it's crazy. Sexual assault, sorry, they don't say rape, sexual assault, which means harassment or whatever. I sometimes feel these statistics are a bit exaggerated and stuff like that. But anyways, the point is, if you are a victim to this crime, your life is somewhat ruined, you know what I mean, permanently, and that unlike those type of abuse victims, and they can repair their life and move on and stuff like that, in my opinion. This is not repairable. You have to live with this all your effing life, pretty much till you're dead. You have to live being persecuted, harassed, and abused everywhere you go. I mean, the amount of psychological harassment that they're subjecting you to, I mean, it is, in my opinion, worse than a rape victim or worse than domestic violence situation, the hell that they put you through. And then again, because I already have a health disability to begin with, that already, made it this. But this is another level. This is just something worse. Even if I didn't have a health disability, this is very social murder. It's social murder. They're basically killing you socially from people. Like, people are going to avoid you. But then again, you'd be like, well, if you were a different religion, people are going to avoid you just for your religion. No, I'm not saying they're going to say bad words. No one's going to say bad words. But are you really going to be friends with someone of a different religion? If you're like, well, for example, if you're a Christian, you go to church, are you going to be friends with people that are different? Like, they're already somewhat excluded from the society. And I'm not in any way saying that people treat them badly. I do not think people treat them badly. You're not going to go visit their house every weekend. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in any way saying that there aren't people who will. Maybe if you're atheistic, you won't care about a person's religion. Or if you're a non-church goer, you might go visit someone of a different religion. But in my opinion, I feel like people that are very churchy are not really going to be best friends with someone of a different religion. Then again, America is a Christian majority country. Even though a lot of people don't go, maybe half the population does not go on a regular basis. They'll just go on Christmas and stuff like that. So... okay, so the point is, the situation is a little bit worse than that. There is extreme exclusion with this type of situation, in that they actually harass you so that you hurt. So they say bad things to make you feel insecure, and then the bottom line challenge is extreme harassment. I will save that for another video. But I'm here to say that I'm a victim, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, smiling. I have the little crooked tooth. Actually, that's another story I can get on my tooth. I don't know if I'll ever give you that story on my tooth issue, but not that it matters. Going through something like this will affect your personality, or it'll affect your outcome in life. There's nothing good that comes from this type of slander campaign. I mean, it's just all bad. Like, what can happen in your life is bad. I mean, either you deal with the stress or you don't. So it's not helpful. It does not make you a strong person. Some people may feel like, oh, going through pain. Maybe some articles I read that I don't even think most people even agree with. Yeah, going through bad experiences does not help you in life. Pretty much only good experiences help you in life. Okay, when good things happen, that helps you be a better person, and that helps your life actually improve. When bad things, it just slows you. Some people has no effect. Like, some people, if they have something bad happen to them, it does not mentally affect them because they're emotionally like a tough person, so they're able to ignore it and like move forward. But it does not help you. It does not help you. Like, at the very best, a brain, the human can maybe ignore it. And not everyone can do that, but like, some people can ignore it. But bad things make your life worse. It makes everything slower. So like, education will make you slower, or your friendship or your family. But it makes you more angry. It can affect your personality, make you a more meaner person, all this other bullshit. It basically makes your life worse. It doesn't help you. It makes your life worse, basically. So there's really no positive to the situation that I can think of. There's some people that will. There are some people that will claim, or right now, the information you will find in the media and stuff. This is just opinions, and since you can't really prove any of this is happening, all the stuff that you find online, it's not provable or not provable. That was the only help I could get was online, anyways, because like, you can't find both sides in the library. If you go report, no one, like, if you went to your therapist, they can't tell you how to help you and stuff with the situation. Government employee, if you complain, people will just say you're lying, even though they're the ones harassing you. Because the thing is, sometimes, too, that's the thing that happened to me, is that, like, the people you actually complain, no matter where you go, it's not a particular department. I've seen this issue in multiple different locations. If you say, this person's not doing this right, or this person treated me badly, or this person giving me a hard time, or this person's saying things that are not true, or this person lost my paper, or they threw away my paper. You know, it's just whatever you're doing in your day or situation. They will purposefully throw away paper. Like if you gave some forms or you signed with your signature for whatever business related issue, whatever it is you're going, they will like destroy the documents basically in some cases. And you know, just because of the fact you're being harassed so severely, you know it's not an accident. They'll claim when they do something bad, they'll claim it is an accident. In most cases, they deny it. They deny the error, but then, or they'll say you didn't turn in the paper. They'll be like, oh, you didn't turn this paper in. Which is clearly not true. You pretty much have to double check yourself a lot with these situations. You pretty much have to think ahead. You have to plan ahead, blah, blah. Or you can just, you know, live with the crap. You don't have to do any of those things. It's just like, that's kind of as a result of this lifestyle that you're going through. You do have to plan, not necessarily always. You have to, just whatever your dreams, the future, whatever you wanted in life, your goals, everything like that, you pretty much have to totally rearrange it and kind of expect a different lifestyle. Everything you ever wanted, you know, all that stuff like that, you pretty much have to, you have to basically, just create a new identity, create a new life, all this stuff like that. Your life is very different from most people in your environment. Be like, oh, well, we all get paid slightly differently. Isn't that different? Or we all have, you know, a different color. Isn't that a different? No, well, that's like governmental. Nothing you can do about changing those situations or your appearance. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to change your appearances, but I mean, there's certain things you can't, obviously. This situation is just like added stress from people. It's just the problem with the situation. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, for me, I didn't deal with the stress I broke down and all that. So I didn't really deal with it correctly or well. You know, I don't know who does things like this. I don't know why. My guess why they pick, different people have different opinions to why people get selected. I already said how the main, you know, generalized opinion is just complaints of whatever. It doesn't matter what more so bigger issues. You're complaining about something big and you probably cannot prove it, or the evidence you have is weak. Something that could not hold up in court. Obviously, if you could prove what you're saying, I don't think they would do the harassment. So it could be an opinion that you have about life, politically, stuff like that. So reasons for my harassment, all that stuff, maybe I'll get into it. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on that or not. Recently, I don't know if I'm going to be regular with my videos or not, if I'm going to do it on a regular basis, or if I'm going to do it short term. I don't know how long my video projects are going to be. What I was going to say about life. Yeah, it's a very hard life. Anyone this is very, especially if you don't get help. You know, like I said with help, you know, you can try. I never said you can't try. I'm saying that people don't want help. That's a big issue. It's not, people don't want to be avoidant to the issue. People are not isolating themselves. The situation is not isolation. I am isolated, but I mean, they are not isolating themselves from you. They are harassing you. They may not like follow you everywhere, but they are trying to make you feel bad. They want you to hurt. They want you to feel pain. They want to stress you out. This is an actual desire and want of theirs. And this is not, it's not them being ignorant. See, if they ignored me and nobody did anything bad other than just ignore me, well, of course, legally, as an employee, you have to do your job. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do anything for this person, period, because I'm not working for this person. I'll work for everyone else, but not this person. That's bullying too. But that's not exactly what they're doing. Obviously, they will give you the services. They will just harass you while they're giving you the services or whatever you're legally obliged to get. They will give you a hard time with it. If you are a victim to this crime, like I said, you know, anything's possible. I'm not telling you to give up. If you want a positive look, that's fine. I don't have an optimistic view of life. I think my view is realistic. I just focus on the negative, which is not saying that pessimistic means you actually believe life is negative. I don't believe life is negative. Like, I understand there are many happy people in the world. I think most people are actually happy. So I think I'm sad because of the situation. So I don't necessarily think that I'm really a pessimist. I just focus on the negatives in life as a result of the fact that my life is horrible. So I think I'm actually a realist, but health. I mean, maybe I don't know. I guess most people might be realists. I don't know. They tell you that to be healthy, you need to be an optimist. Optimism, in my opinion, to a certain degree, can become lying to yourself, but whatever. Supposedly, it's healthy, and I'm not in any way dissing anyone who is an optimist. That's fine. That's your objective. That's what you want to be in life. That's fine. After all I've been through and all sorts of stuff like that, it's a very stressful life, and nobody really empathizes with the situation. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, I really want to find people going through this so I don't feel really alone, but like it's really hard or whatever. I mean, it's just a really sad life. I wish I had a different life and all sorts of crap like that. I want to be happy. Growing up, pain. I get into my feelings a lot. I've really focused a lot on my feelings to a point that's probably not healthy. Being too focused on your feelings is not healthy. You do need to focus on being with people and others and doing things, in general, like life and living and all this stuff like that. Focusing on all the bad in your life is not going to help you improve, obviously. Focusing on all the bad things people are doing to you is not going to help you improve either. So I'm not in any way saying to focus on the negatives or anything like that. These are things that I'm not even doing myself. So I'm not trying to be a hypocrite in that I'm not saying, I'm not forcing you, or I'm not telling you what to do, or I'm not trying to give you an example like, this is my life and it turned out wonderfully and blah, blah, blah. I can't, it's just, like I said, nobody understands me, and that nobody really is going through the same thing. People know what's going on in my life. People know I'm being, harassed and that I'm a victim to a crime, but nobody really cares, and nobody really cares because, the slander is so effective that these people don't really care, what's happening to me. And so, if you're going through this, good luck trying to get help, because ain't nobody want to help you. For real, it's like nobody really wants to help you. I mean, yes, there's all these like legal things people, homeless people use homeless shelter and social security disability if you can qualify for those, or there's just charity programs, and there's all these stuff legally the government provides for its citizens, things of that nature, especially in richer countries like America. But at the same time, they don't want to help everyone. Because, example, if you're a criminal, people don't want to help a criminal. Now, I'm not legally constituted as a criminal. My health condition, obviously, like I said, I have a mental health disability. And as a result, that's another topic in and of itself. And there's a huge stigma associated with that. And that's another topic that, again, people don't want to admit. People do not want to admit that gang stalking exists or that slander harassment. Basically, anyone that's doing these type of harassment campaigns, they don't want to tell you or government because they're going to get in trouble or it looks bad. So they're okay with harassing you. It's just they're afraid of consequences that may occur, or they know what they're doing is wrong. That's why they don't admit to it. So hypothetically, if you say to someone, stop harassing me, they won't do it. I've tried it on a few occasions. It usually doesn't work. Because they lied, so they didn't do anything, pretty much. And so, for anyone going through this type of stress, you gotta be really, you gotta be tough to deal with this. But the thing is, a lot of people, some people can handle it, some people can't. Obviously, if you're not able to hold a job, or you're like mentally unstable and all ill or whatever, you're not handling the situation pretty well. That's my category. For the people that do handle the situation well, go, that's fine. That's pretty normal. I mean, I don't believe that this will affect your functioning ability, though I hear sometimes some people don't necessarily have health-related issues resulting from all this trauma. It's more so due to the fact people will fire you. So if you constantly stand up for yourself, let's say somebody's like harassing you, bullying you, saying bad stuff, and then you say, stop saying that, and if it's a lot of people that are bullying you and you stand up for yourself, that can be motivation for them to fire you for actually trying to complain about what's going on in your situation. Because it's just, I can't explain, people don't like complaints. Even if there's no legal penalty or no legal consequences for the complaint, meaning you don't really have any evidence other than you just said it, they don't like people who complain in general. They don't like when you have anything bad to say about them. So if they do something bad to you, they are, that's why, you know, they enjoy the bad that they did to you. But if they do if you do something bad to, you don't even need to do something bad. All you gotta do is complain. But of course, if you do what they did to you back, you do some back and forth revenge. I mean, you know, the situation is just gonna get uglier. It's not a pretty thing to deal with. That's not a solution. You know, it might make it worse. It might not do anything. It probably will not help you in most cases. To retaliate, and you know, even if the person, you know, deserves it or whatever, legally speaking, you know, you're not supposed to, you know, go back and forth just because somebody treated you wrong and all that stuff like that, legally speaking. So you can get in trouble for that too. But you know, I understand some of these people definitely deserve to be put in their place, but if you don't have evidence, you know, you can't. I mean, you know, whatever, it's up to your decision what you want to do, but I'm just saying there's, you know, the law, and, you know, there's your job to consider, because if you piss these people off, if you get them angry, then you could lose your job, you could lose your situation, blah, blah. These people are not really murderers. Like, I don't really think they have it in them to, like, really commit extreme major forms of violence. I think that they're lower level offenders, but at the same time, criminals are not good people either. Like, even the lower level offenders, they're not really good people, to be honest with you. I mean, it depends what type of criminal we're talking about, but generally, in my opinion, I don't really think criminals are good people. Like, I mean, it depends what we're talking about. Like, drug addiction is a separate category. It's kind of like in the prostitution category, and that's another topic I want to get into, where this is mainly harming themselves, in my opinion. Yes, they're destroying communities, but you know, I'm not really gonna. I mean, yes, they technically are criminals, but because it's breaking the law in most states. I know they legalize marijuana, and there's prostitution legalization in certain states and countries that legalize that stuff. But I mean, you know, most states it's not legal, so they are criminals. But I mean, that's more of the lower level offense. That's more to yourself, though. When you're talking about like, there's just different types of criminals, and you know, and stuff like that. These types of people are, you know, we put them on the level of domestic violence, the type of just slander bullshit they're doing to me. I mean, maybe even a little bit worse. Fuck, you might want to put them on the lower level sex offender reg. Honestly, I do think they deserve. These people that started my rumor and slander my campaign, 100% I believe they should be put on a sex offender registry. I do think that they should get some sort of humiliation for what they've done. What they did to me is so bad, it would go on a newspaper. If 100%, it would go on a newspaper because they've committed crimes and then it's those newspaper type crimes. It's not. There's different types of crimes. There's certain crimes that go on newspaper, and then there's certain crimes that don't go on newspapers. This is the type that will go on a newspaper. This is the type that will go on a newspaper. Now, a lot of crimes do go on a newspaper, so it's not really that shocking of a difference. But then there's TV. I don't really think it's maybe not international. I don't know. Could go on TV. Could go on your local, you know, county station or whatever. ABC7 stuff like that. For my situation, obviously I live in San Bernardino County, so it's pretty bad. It's possible because it's really that bad. The stuff they do is really that bad, and no, it's not the worst. You know, like I said, they're not like the world's worst criminals and things like that nature. They're not even moderates, because I don't think they're career criminal is someone that made it their life value to make income off of criminal. Okay, so there's some people they do it for life. That's another level. That's definitely in the moderate, maybe even middle. Usually it's a part-time job, meaning no, they're not planning to do it for life. They're just getting lazy for a few years, and this is kind of a temporary thing, which is a lot of them. I mean, these people are probably on the lower level offenders, in my opinion, in that, like, with punishment, they may reduce the crime and stuff. Like, they're not they're not really that. They pick the target, you know, selectively. You know, they don't just do it to anyone. They pick people based on particular issue. It's kind of like some people who murder for a specific issue. Example, if you never, okay, there's some people, they'll murder you for having an affair. Like if you cheated on your spouse and that person cheated on they were cheated on by their spouse, and they're like, oh, that's the worst thing that could ever happen, and they kill their spouse because they cheated on them. If that situation never happened, if their spouse never cheated on them, they may have never murdered anyone. So I do understand, I'm not in any way saying that's the majority of murders, because usually, and that's still not a good excuse. They can give you the death penalty if they want. If you live in the death penalty state, they can still by law give you the death penalty it doesn't matter what your excuse. The only excuse is self-defense, or accident, those are very difficult to prove, and those almost never work in court. And then there's the insanity, which I don't even believe in as a real defense, in my opinion. But the point is, I do believe there are certain circumstances in life that people may, they may lose themselves. They may lose control and go off. Now, I don't think good people would. I don't think everyone would do this. I don't think most people would kill their spouse for having an affair. I think there's certain twisted minds that would do something like that, and of course, they're still technically a criminal. But I said that, had that event never happened, they may never have done it. Now, they may have personality problems. It's not mental health related. It's not a result of a mental illness. It's just they snapped. And so I do think there are situations where people can snap, but it don't mean they're a good person. I did not say they're a good person. I did not say that at all. They may have other issues in their personality and life and stuff and blah, blah, blah. The point is, the thing is, I'm not into looking into life and when people will be criminals and when people will not be criminals. I'm not really into trying to focus on that, but I do believe, certain people can snap. And again, like I said, there's the law. You gotta remember the law to consider, So they don't have to let you off just because you had a hard life, or you had a hard situation or whatever. That's not how the law is designed either. So I'm not here to empathize with anyone. What they're doing to me, they don't harass every person they meet. They don't harass most people they meet, in order to you don't harass half the people you meet. You probably don't even harass 10% of the people you ever deal with in life, even with someone that's really mean. If you harass that many people, you will have no friends. People will harass you and you'll be socially ostracized. So I do understand with my situation, there is a selection process in how I got picked, in that they're aiming for somebody especially that cannot fight back. They will, I'm sure they pick on normal people. I'm not saying that they pick on total losers or introverts or people that are not, socially doing well in life. So the point is that the people doing this to me, they selected me, you know what I'm saying? I know they don't do this to most of the people that they, stuff like that. Why I got picked, like I said, I was an easy target. Sorry, I look so dark. I had to use that, didn't I? No, I don't. I have a little light skin neck. I don't like showing people that. I should put makeup on there. Oh no, I'm sorry. This looks dark. The lighting is kind of bad. It makes my face look. Actually, my face looks slightly darker than usual, and then my neck looks fucking black, which is not, and then my fucking chest looks fucking light as hell. So I don't know. Just trying to cover that. It's the angle in which I'm at is darkening and lightening certain areas due to the lighting, which is kind of weird. Those are not. I'm not going to get into my skin and body issues. That could be another day. I don't know if I ever will get into my body image issues and all that stuff. Let's just say I could never be a beauty queen. We'll just leave it at that. And I'm not going to go into any other topic. These people do a lot to harass you. The amount of cooperation that they get, the amount of people that are involved, the amount of people they know. They're just, oh my God. you know, how I got picked, it ain't right. It ain't right. It wasn't even like I like knew people that her. It wasn't like I did this to someone and they did it. Of course, the perspective to understand some people why they did it is just really stupid. It's like trying to understand a criminal mind, which is what I've done. I really looked up into trying to understand. Oh, trust me, I understand these people. I mean, I'm not God. I'm not like fucking psychic. I can't like read people's minds. Not like I know for 100% fact. But I have good guesses and probabilities to how and why this has happened. I don't have specifics, but I have good approximations. What they did to me is just very not nice. On top of it being mean, I mean, you pretty much, you gotta be very, you gotta, these people that do something like this ain't right. They ain't right. People like this need penalty, and this is what the prison industry complex was created for, people like this. But sadly, the law is not exactly set up to, there are more laws that they could put to tighten situations like this up and to improve these type of situations through monetization and all this stuff like that, as well as acknowledging that gang stalking is a crime and that it's real and proving, we don't have really much evidence to prove that it even exists, but I don't know, I'm hoping that I can do videos eventually in the future or collect enough, hopefully, evidence to, you know, prove what's happening to me, if that's even possible. I don't know. It's a goal of mine, but I don't think it's really going to happen. I don't really have a positive perspective. I really think that they got off. I don't think anyone will ever be penalized. I think this situation is going to continue, and that, like I said, it's going to happen forever. And that even if I ever plan on reproducing and having children, that this situation is going to happen to the kid. But then again, you'd be like, I'm so crazy and I have such a bad personality that I probably won't be able to raise my kids or chop kids or just take them away. But hypothetically, we'll just pretend here I was able to function in an appropriate manner to where I could do something like that. They could even possibly harass your kid, because some of these situations are generational in that they actually harass you, your family, you know, and your children, all this stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know really what my future is going to be like. I don't know. You know, I'm hoping that it'll turn out better. I hope there will be some improvement. I hope we'll be happy and I'll forget until it ends and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to deal with these people, all this stuff. I really wish I could move states and this all goes away, but like, I don't think that's really going to happen. Like, it's not that, I mean, like I said, it's really that bad. They're that connected. There's so many people that have been involved, and it was just things they did to me were so, like, it was just low down, dirty, not right. I mean, no, it's not really that bad, but it's like they know so many people. It's like they know this freaking community and all this stuff. Like, they know people. And what's gonna, like I said, I have been followed. I have been followed on it. Just the fact they can do this here is still shockingly amazing to why I believe they can take this to another state and follow me around. And, you know, they're telling people on the Patriot Act freedom that I think they're lying, because I don't have child pornography on my internet. You know, I don't have anything illegal or anything like that. I don't have stuff like that. You know, I don't have a criminal past. I don't have a criminal record. You know, if you were like gang affiliated, it's possible even upon release that you could be on a Patriot Act, and that you could have quit the job and the illegal activity. You could stop being a gang member even upon release, but they might think you're still involved, or that you know someone, or you didn't get penalized for all the crimes you committed, and now they're trying to get some stuff you did in your past, you know, stuff like that. Even if you stop, they don't care. You still have to be penalized for everything that you did. It's not just what you got caught with, it's everything that you did, you know, as long as the statute of limitation hasn't passed. So it's like, for people that actually do have a criminal record, it's possible, you know, even upon release, you stopped, you don't do the crime no more, blah, blah, blah. They can still get you for stuff you did way back, you know? So, for them, it is possible for them to be on a Patriot Act, you know? But for me, no, it's not really possible. Like I said, with the internet's bullshit, I know what I go on with my computer, so that's not a possibility. Or any computers that I've been on. Here's the thing. You know, you gotta put password on your computer. It's very important to put password on your cell phone, computer, all that stuff, because if anyone wants to and they don't like you, they can just go on your computer, go on all bunch of sites, and then claim that you did it. Or take your phone and then like put messages and send it to people, and then it's gonna be on you because it's your phone. So, you better not let people. you have to you gotta put passwords and stuff. You gotta start security. You gotta protect yourself. Anyway, that's just normal advice for anyone. But I mean, with these situations, I mean, it's a harder life. The people, nobody really empathizes with you. It's really hard to find people. They treat you as if they have a right to harass you and that you're not a good. I guess it depends on maybe for some people, maybe not many people harass them. Maybe their slander is a lot smaller, or the particular reason they're being slandered is for a minor. My reason why I got picked is because they're doing pedophile rumors on me. They're claiming I'm a pedophile and all this bullshit, and that's pretty much probably one of the worst rumors. Not necessarily the worst, but definitely on the list of top 10%. Like, it's a really bad. It's really, really, really bad. There's other types of rumors you can put on people, but to convince people like that is very, very damaging to your reputation. If people actually admire whoever starts the rumor, things of that nature. Anyways, the point, how they got into this, I'm a celibate, I'm not gay or transgender or anything like that. I'm not the most religious person or anything like that. I don't really go to church that often, but, having this situation doesn't really motivate me to be a more religious person or anything like that. If anything, it helps distance my relationship with religion. I'm not anyway, telling you what to do. It's your life, but just telling you, what does it say about pedophilia and just this country is crazy, is that like they pretty much it's crazy that they're doing a rumor like that and that they don't have any proof of it and that they would start a rumor like that. And I know why they're doing it. I'm not exactly, but it's a guess. It's a very bad rumor to get a pedophile rumor. It's a very bad thing. There's other rumors that will not affect you so much, and you were cheating with someone, or you're dating this person, or like that. Yeah, a little bit, it doesn't look good, but I would say it doesn't affect her too much. Usually, unless it's true and you admitted to it, or they actually have proof of it, like you going at another person's house late at night and they have pictures. Then again, nowadays with computer software, they can cut and paste people's faces on anything. Like you can take a picture and get a computer and then cut and paste it on, even with video. But I know with pictures, you can do that really easily, cut and paste people's heads off. If I want, I can put my head over someone else's body. Let's just say, like, on the internet, I find a celebrity I think that's really attractive. I just go print their picture out, put my face, take my picture of my face, and then like glue it together. It's just like, I don't know, like computer software redigitize. That'll be like, and I can go on, like internet dating site and like, I can go like an internet dating site and be like, that's my body. Nah, I would never do something like that, but I'm just highlighting. Well, once they see me, I'll be like, oh, yeah, this lady, she's lying. So it would never work out in the sense that, like, when you first meet me, you would see that's obviously not the case. But anyways, not that it matters. I'm just highlighting. You can cut and paste people's faces off. So the point is, there's just, there's certain, with this country, it's just amazing, like, understanding what the social values, political, like, atmosphere is, what people socially tolerate versus what they don't tolerate, what people admire, what they don't admire. It's, our country is just a little bit, like, I wouldn't say people, life, stuff, and there's no valuable lesson I've learned from this. All I've learned is that people can do stupid things for no good reason. There's no, like, life lesson. There's no value. Like, education don't teach you anything either. It's required. There's a small section, very, very few of it, that you will actually use on your job or life, but as predominant majority of it's useless. And it's literally a lot of it's junk. They just teach you it to, it's a competition, like sports, trying to find the best team, who's number one, who's the best at this, blah, blah, blah. Give them their little reward or to give them a high-paying job to weed out who the good ones are versus the down. Entertainment, but job. I understand for, like, rich people and to create an income, to see who deserves what money, or who's the fastest, to pressure you to work harder and faster, to compete with each other. So that's what all governments and economies and stuff, countries do to each other anyways, to create the best products and all that other stuff. And it's to pressure you and stuff. And so for most people, it's just to find your job that you're going to end up with and to give you, like, to weed out the dumb people from the average people from the smart people, like to give you kind of a discernment basically, and then to give you jobs based on that. So you're going to get like rewarded based on your intelligence level basically. Not always, but yeah, it kind of is like that basically. But anyways, yeah, a lot of it's junk. So, oh dear, my educational history, I don't even want to answer that. It's not, man. So anyways, yeah, my life is really hard. It's really painful. I cannot deal with the stress. I cannot handle it. I'm really weak. This is too much for me. I don't know if everyone can handle it. I don't know if this is what you guys want in your life or not. I mean, nobody wants this to happen to them, but I mean, okay, if it has happened to you, then, this is your life. Oh. It's not fun. Just my health is already really bad to begin with, and this has definitely affected my progression level, and that I feel like I have decomposed and gotten worse with my health as a result of this has happening to me. I was so young when this all happened to me, It started when I was, I may not have the, teenage body kind of ideal. That's what, your best body is supposed to pretty much be when you're young, and then it's like when you get older, you kind of gain. So if you were like a size, 2 when you were in high school, when you're like 50, you'll be like a size 6, Not that you don't necessarily gain too much weight, but I mean, some people it's worse than that, but anyways, yeah, that's not the case for me. So there's really, okay, we're not getting into the whole body image issue, but the point is these people are the people harassing me, I believe, are into pornography. I very much do. I think that these people, that's my opinion, that's normal part of the culture, but I think these people, I'm not getting into that topic. These people, like, they just disgusting on another level of harassment and things of that nature. They are sexually abusive, in my opinion, based on what my legal definition of what I would quantify as, yeah. So anyways, yeah. So, this is just really stressful for me, and getting, help is really, really hard at this situation. I don't have no emotional psychological support. I do a little bit here and there, but I'm pretty much solo with this situation. I would say I'm very alone in that I don't. A lot of people are harassing me, so it's hard to get help with this situation. I'm just, that's pretty much my life. If anyone's going through this, especially if you're locally in my area, I'd like to know. I would love this all to end. If anyone knows anything that's happening in my life and why I'm being harassed, and who names, people, places, anything, like who's doing this to me, that would be very well appreciated. For you to give me information as to who's done this to me, that would be very nice. If anyone knew, I highly doubt that you're not going to tell me. It'd be nice if you anonymously, hit me anonymously, privately, whatever. I won't give you your name out or anything if you have any information as to why this is happening to me or who's involved and things like that. Well, anyways, I know that, what's happened to me is, most likely it's just what it is. So anyways, this is it. This is my life. This is my story, and bye.